At the heart of the journey is the philosophy that transcends generations. Since ancient times, it's well known that a handful of dry fruits and nuts are necessary for sustained good health. Question is, how can we reach 10 million households every day? With youthful determination, we at Handful of Health are passionate to weave the fabric of tradition with ethical sourcing, technology, and a distribution strategy that makes dry fruits and nuts accessible in unique ways. A complete hold of the supply chain and a women-oriented team led by Vijeta is working on the mission of spreading good health through dry fruits and nuts.
The name Handful of Health comes from a very interesting story that has been passed down from generations into our family. We come from 4-decade-old of a legacy that finds its roots in the bountiful valleys of Kandahar, Afghanistan. Our family has been into imports of nuts and dry fruits for over 40 years now, and all that we've learned is everything around nuts and dry fruits. And the story that has been passed down from generations was that in the olden days, when there was no concept of restaurants or QSRs, when people had to travel between cities for work, or when people were sending their children off to school, a handful of nuts, dry fruits and berries were given to them to sustain them for their nutrition needs. And that's kind of has always formed the ethos of the brand Handful of Health, where we decided we will curate experiences around nuts, dates, dry fruits, and create products, services, cafes, and multitude of experiences around the same. I'm Vijeta Gavdi, the CEO at Handful of Health, and I hope to bring the best of all that we have done and learned so far to all of the communities around. At Handful of Health, we believe in building healthy communities, and that's our mission going forward. It's not the days in your life, but the life in your days that matter. At Carnival, we believe that to live a maximum life, every day needs to be celebrated with good health and laughter. At Handful of Health, which is a house of brands, each of our brands, Carnival, Royal Delight, On the Run, Cracknut, echo the ethos of health and nutrition. Each of the brands is very thoughtfully curated, keeping local ingredients in mind and keeping the processing and additives to absolute minimum or even zero. At Handful of Health, gifting forms a very big part of what we do. We believe in building healthy communities, and that echoes in our form and format of gifting as well. In a Handful of Health store, you will find gifts that are reusable and sustainable. In addition, we pride ourselves on giving employment opportunities to local craftsmen who work with us to create these beautiful, eco-friendly and reusable hampers, which contain not only yummy and tasty products, but also products that are healthy and nutritious. We work with India's top retail brands such as Reliance, Foodsquare, Nature's Basket, Adani and more to create retail experiences around nuts, dates and dry fruits. The idea of these store-in-store concepts is to create a theatre-like concept where the customer can enjoy seeing these nuts being toasted live or seeing something like as traditional as a chikki being made live in front of them. The store-in-store concept at Handful of Health allows us scale of operations, and it allows us to quickly expand our reach to consumers. At Handful of Health, we believe in building healthy communities, and that is why we are working with India's top corporates to create health cafes in their premises. We are standing at Nariman Point Express Towers, Mumbai's most iconic corporate center. And here we have the Handful of Health Cafe that is working with Embassy on their corporate ESG goals. We believe a healthy and happy employee contributes to a healthy and happy corporate atmosphere.